Hi guys, welcome to Hobby Hangout on this Friday. Yay! I'm Danny. I make stuff. I'm the hobby and terrain specialist here with Privateer Press. Welcome to our new live stream, Hobby Hangout. This is Hungerford.
They can't see me.
That is John Swinkles.
They can't see me either.
It's cool. We're going to go through some announcements. Yay!
Danny?
What?
How you doing, buddy?
Good, it's Friday. I'm always happy. Okay. It's a new building.
Yes, we're in a very brand new studio that is quite a bit larger than our old space, so we kind of have like a nice little round table going on right now, which is nice.
Yeah.
So
we can all
exciting.
see all the things.
Announcements.
Let's do them.
Let's go. All right, so we have a stream schedule. As you can see, on Wednesdays, we have Dev Hangout. Learn about all the cool new things that Dev is making for the games. On Thursdays, we have Get Your Paint On with Jordan Lamb, our studio painter, and sometimes me. Staff Showdown, that's October 1st. That happens sometimes. That's cool. They're going to be playing Riot Quest. Hobby Hangout, that's me and also Brian. We alternate every 2 weeks. I'll be showing you how to make stuff. Brian's going to show you how to make stuff and assemble stuff. It's going to be a real cool place to come hang out and ask questions and learn cool stuff. Everything's cool. Subscribe, please, on Twitch. If you subscribe, you get some sweet new emotes. Look at how cool those are. Look at Gubbin's face.
Gubbin is the best one.
That's so good. Mini Crate. Mini Crate is really super awesome. Now look at Lil Fenris. It's one of my favorite models we've made. Also, we have L5R. Be sure to subscribe to that. They have some of my favorite models also. Savage Crate is super amazing. Look at King Conan. For anyone that's a fan of Robert E. Howard stuff, we're making minis for it, so be sure to subscribe to mini-crate.com/savage to get your Savage Crate. I kind of lost my
That was very Danny
Good
of
job.
you.
At
Actually.
least you got through it.
Danny, I have one quick question. Just middle of your announcements. What is happening?
It's Friday.
Okay, just checking.
Am I doing something wrong? I mean,
Well,
I'm just promoting products.
so tell us about what you're building today, Danny.
All right,
That was the most aggro intro I've ever heard.
aggro. I thought it was just exciting.
You're like, Mini Crate. Check it out. God, I love it.
I mean, why I can't be
So
pumped?
he's
just
pulling
read my insider that we post live today. It's outrageous. I think one line is literally just yo. Like,
The first line is just Y with a bunch of O's.
So he's
Yeah.
pulling a Hungerford.
so
Way more.
super extra. All right, so today we're going to be making this sweet, sweet Steamjack Workstation. This jack has been damaged. The guys have to work on it. Where, Tony, I can't see. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this using all sorts of bits that we have and a bunch of different scratch building techniques. So we're going to run through this, but be sure to ask questions as I go. We also have all of the parts to make this kit available on the web store.
And I will post that link right now. And if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook after the fact, the link to the web store will be in the description.
I believe it's $20 to get everything.
That's right.
This go around. Do us a favor if you do want to order these bits. Place a separate order. You'll get it a lot faster because of the move. It'll just be a lot easier for us to place that order separately. So I guess we're just gonna start, right, guys?
Building a thing. Show us how to do it.
All right. So these are from the Assault Chariot, right? They're these yokes, and we're going to use these as the little hangy rack bit here. So I want to connect these. What I'm first going to do, actually, first thing I'm going to do is trim some of these parts so that I can add things to them. So I'm going to take my clippers, go boop, kind of just trim some of that off of there. How are you guys today? Apparently not as excited as me.
I'm a little sick. I'm kind of in here this morning to do the live stream and just kind of watch what's going on.
I'm watching in awe. It's like one of those like wind-up dolls that somebody like just cranked it way too hard and it just keeps going. And I'm like, when does this thing run out of energy? But it doesn't. It just keeps happening.
I feel like you wouldn't be surprised that that's like not the first time, or even close to the first time I've been called a wind-up doll. At one of my previous jobs, they called me Blood Bag, like from what's it called, Mad Max.
Yeah.
They just like use my excess of energy to empower all of the other people. So as you can see, I'm also taking the clippers and I am cutting off the K-Door insignia here.
You could leave those on if it was a K-Door work jack
You
station, right?
absolutely can. That is a great point. So we're just going to kind of use the scalpel blade and scrape that a bit. If I was not really quickly kind of trying to bust this out over live stream, I'd go in with like a round blade and maybe some sandpaper and a curved file and really, get this thing clean. But for the sake of what we're doing here, we're just going to kind of...
Tanner Thomas says he really likes this piece. Tanner Thomas, I really like you.
Tanner Thomas is the best. Tanner, aren't you at a wedding? Like, I thought you were supposed to be here or something. All right, so let's see. So now I'm going to use my little emery board, my nail file, and I'm just going to sand these flush. The same thing over here. I'm going to clip it.
So as you're clipping and sanding, what was the what made you decide to do this piece?
Did I just hit you with a piece of resin?
No, you'll know.
Okay.
Trust me, if an object ever hits me in the middle of this, Danny, it won't be a surprise to you.
What was the question? Why did I decide?
Why did you decide this? Like, what was your inspiration for doing this piece?
So I always liked the Mariner because I'm a scuba diver, which seems like something I should never do, but
Here we
everything's
are.
more fun with a slight chance of death for me anyway, right? So I love that particular jack. One of our previous engineers made a really cool stand for Crucible Guard. And so I found that inspiring. We have a ton of these bits. So I kind of just like, when I decide on these projects, I go through the warehouse and see what we have a ton of, and I just try to base projects around them, because I know that like if I screw up while I'm kit bashing this stuff, I got a bunch more. I don't have to beg production to like make me something, right? Hey guys, I broke this piece, please help. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna clip. You guys can see I had to clip the backside here and connect these two bits.
Where is that at?
Right here. I'll use this little piece of wire to point. So I clipped one of the yolks to like evenly space it, right? So let's see how far. I should probably measure this. Doop boop boo.
Measure twice, cut once.
Yeah, right.
As you're measuring, a couple folk on Facebook, like the ever classy Alec M. Luda says, he can't wait to build this to use in his IKRPG game.
Yup.
That'll be a really cool piece to use in it. Also just a great piece of terrain for War Machine, or just a cool thing.
Something I'd love to see you guys do is if you do come up with like some fun rules for like IK or War Machine and Hordes, like
All the rules we come up with for those games are fun, Danny.
send them.
Yeah, let us know how you.
Sorry, I hit the emergency shutdown button.
I was like watching the Death Star track.
No rebuttal. Please just send them to like our social media, Jeff Hanley, so that we can like have fun, take a look. Maybe we'll post some of them. I'm actually trying to organize a little contest for people to come up with rules for these. So stay tuned.
Yeah, there something that Ponto Hornblower pointed out is that for this project, the cool thing is that you can switch out the jack body with any jack body you want for your favorite faction, or even do a hanging monstrosity for some sort of Dr. Frankenstein thing.
That's exactly right. It's like we designed it this way. Speaking of that, man, I saw the new It. Disappointed.
Chapter 2?
Yeah.
Did you like Chapter 1?
Yes.
Yeah, I like both of them.
It was fine. It was
Chapter
fine.
1, in my opinion, is always the better one based on the narrative, because it's always fun to watch. Horror is more scary when it's the kids trying to fight against the thing, right? As
Right.
adults, you're like, I'm an adult-ish. I understand the options I have, and so, but like thinking of dealing with, Pennywise as a child is obviously
Far more
scarier.
terrifying.
Right.
Yeah.
I've been working on an impression of him though, and that's the best part of it is trying to like sound like him. Now, okay, real quick, what I'm doing is I know that this piece is going to be pretty fragile, and it has to support the weight of a jack. So I'm dropping a pin. Like after I clipped it, I clipped it with my clippers, and I'm just gonna
Structural integrity for the win.
yeah, exactly that. So I'm gonna let's see.
So for those who like me are lazy-minded and might not want to take this extra step, what are some of the bad things that can happen if I don't pin that?
Your whole
part
thing's
right
gonna
there?
break.
There you go.
It's not a bad thing that might happen, Tony. It's a bad thing that will happen.
So what you're saying is I will have to do this.
Yeah,
on
this piece
okay.
structurally it probably needs a pin there. Probably needs a pin there. So what I did, if you guys can't see, I took a piece of plastic and I poured some super glue on it, and I'm kind of spinning the pin in the super glue. And then I'm just gonna shove that on in here. Boop-a-doo. Clean off the excess, and I will use wire cutters to clip that. I tend to actually not use the flush cutters for cutting brass pins, especially if it's a steel, because I use paper clips actually more than anything.
Yep.
I like using paper clips, but the clippers do not like cutting steel.
I was gonna say I think Brian told us a couple weeks ago. He's like, that's a great way to
So I
ruin
use-
your flat.
Exactly. I
flat
use wire cutters, and I actually took these to a grinder and made them slightly flush cutters anyway. So kind of does the best of both worlds, right? What I'm doing here is I'm lining it up on the cutting mat, and I'm going to kind of use those lines to my advantage, and I'm just going to wiggle this to make a indent where I need to drill the hole so the pin corresponds in the right spot.
So everything lines up.
Exactly.
So right now we're on step 3 of this project, right? Step 1 was cut the nubs off. Step 2 was sand them down. Step 3 is pin them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
How many steps do you think this is going to be? A 10-step program? 12 steps?
I can't even count or read, so I don't know.
I feel you.
Yeah.
But I also feel you on using paper clips. Almost all my pinned minis I use paper clips.
Well, and I love them because I always end up jamming a pin into my finger. If I use brass pins, the nice thing about the paper clip is you just bend it so you have that nice round end. Do you know what I mean? You bend it at the right angle, so you can just push on the nice soft round part and not stab
And
yourself.
not impale yourself?
Yeah.
So Quisitor has a question, or I should say a question. He's making a statement. When pinning, he puts a dot of paint on the end of the pin so you know where to drill the hole on the opposite side. What is one of the techniques that you use to know how to line up holes like that?
Yeah, so if I have, I use paint a lot. Yeah, if I'm doing something pretty complicated, I'll put a dot of paint and coincide. But, I mean, honestly, a lot of our materials are so soft that I do exactly what I just showed here, which is I line it up and I just
Give it a push.
give it a little twist, and it'll actually create an indent. And also what that does is it allows me to, it kind of has a pilot hole now.
Yeah.
So my drill bit's not going to skip around on the surface because it has an indent for that bit to kind of go into, right? So now this is all durable and strong and nice. And I'm just going to scrape off this, I'm going to scrape off the little rivets on the backside because they're not evenly spaced. And then I'm actually going to use super glue as my filler.
What is in the bottle?
This is Superglue Accelerant. It is super cancer liquid, and it makes super glue dry instantly.
And cancer?
And cancer.
Oh.
Welcome.
I feel like every time I ask a question, I just regret it instantly.
All mine have been good so far.
Live stream with Danny. Live stream with Danny. Last one forever.
Everyone is the last one.
No, I'm looking
It's
at...
just gonna be a running joke now.
Yeah.
Where and Danny gets canceled.
I kept telling people on dev chat that if they didn't come in, that you would get canceled. And I'm looking at the views, and we've got a good amount of views going on right now. So it looks like you're in
not
for one
today.
more. Just holding on.
Not today, Satan.
Ponto Hornblower.
What was that word? What did you just say?
Ponto Hornblower on Twitch.
Okay. All I heard was like, you're like, I'm like, Tony, you're sick and dying. Go home,
Oh, he's
please.
one of our longtime viewers.
Yeah.
I think there's a P3 video about pinning that talks about using blue stuff on the other side instead of paint. Yeah, that video is the hobby video that we produced a while back, and that was one where Ron showed a technique where you drilled the hole on one side, you put blue tack on the part that you were going to attach, and then when you squeeze them together, the blue tack went into the hole, which created a negative nub, which showed you where to drill.
That sounds like magic. I've never seen that. I'm going to go watch that video. Thanks, Alec, for your support. / hashtag don't cancel Danny. I love that. Awesome. Yes, play to my ego and endless narcissism. All right, so now let me think what we're going to do. Oh, I'm going to show you guys how to make rope. Rope is so cool. All right, rope makes Danny happy. This is floral wire, steel floral wire. It's thin, but it's steel. So it's strong.
And is this something you could get at like any basic craft store?
Like any craft store. You can even like maybe get it at like your Fred Meyer or Walmart. Like it's in the floral section where they have the fake flowers. So what I'm doing is and I usually make a lot of this at once. So my previous job was I came from film, and I was working on a stop motion movie that just came out not too long ago called Missing Link. Mm-hmm. And part of my job, one of the things I made the most of was rope, man. Like Poseable, animatable rope for that movie. I must have made like
A lot.
hundreds of feet. And so this technique is something that I used a great deal because I could actually like cover a room, like stretch these three pieces of wire over the length of a room. I made a jig so I could just like wind it up like 40 feet at a time. So what I did, though, is I took 3 strands. And this is something that a lot of people do wrong. Kelly, our production manager, he has like a sign on his desk that says rope is 3 strands, like, because it's one of his pet peeves. A lot of sculptors sculpt with, like, they make it look like it's 2.
Yeah.
Rope is not 2 strands. It's 3 strands. Please use 3 strands. It looks better. Angry stance.
So explain to us what you're doing with these.
So I am taking 3 lengths of wire, and I bent it, and I wrapped it at the end, right? So it's all kind of connected into this like wad at the end here, okay?
Do you have something to hold on to and twist?
And then I'm just kind of winding it up into a mess. And then I'll show you that. Patience. And I'm doing the same thing on this end.
Patience is not my friend.
And I'm going to kind of make a ball. Give it some, like make a ball of wire at the end. You see that? All right, cool. Wow, ball. And then I'm gonna take my sweet, sweet power drill.
Please use responsibly.
I'm like definitely like a biggest tool for the job kind of guy. Maybe wear safety goggles.
Maybe wear safety goggles.
You do you, boo.
And then take pliers. Hey, Hungerford, you want to help?
Yeah, man. How can I help this?
Hungerford,
You don't just-
come over and
You don't just hold it in your bare hand.
Hungerford, hold the pliers
Hold the pliers
and pull it. All right, and
Away
now
from your face.
give it a little windy wind.
It's making rope. That's why I said point it away from your face.
Everything's fine.
Thanks, Hungerford.
We made a rope.
You almost poked me in the eye.
That's a smell. That warm metal smell.
Oh no, that's the battery close to catching fire on my drill.
Oh, that's
I probably need to throw it out.
not better.
All right, so as you guys can see now, let's get a nice close-up view.
Closer.
Should I do the palette cam? Is
yeah,
that better?
well, let's see if it works on the palette cam. No, it's not better.
Darn it. You guys can
Closer.
kind of see that has now wound and created this nice rope. You guys can kind of see that? Just see it?
Yeah.
Nice
there you
thing
go.
is, it's durable, so it'll actually like support. Since it's steel, since it's thin steel, it will support the weight of the Warjack, and you can actually like pin it into places, and it will it'll hold your jack up. See that right there? Tony,
Word.
Yeah.
It's there.
It's there.
Yeah,
Sweet.
just trust it.
All right, cool. I believe you. All right, so now that we've got the rope, I'm just gonna clip the end here.
Clip it on camera.
Too late.
It's cool. We're just gonna clip it and leave that aside for a second while I figure out what's
And so
next.
when you clip it, you're just clipping that
clipping
end
the
that you put
ugly
in
like
the
balled
drill.
up end, yeah, just so I have like clean wire to work with.
Clipping
now.
off the nub.
All right, so what I'm going to do now is I figured since this is like a Mariner jack, having some like wood timber on the stand might be kind of a nice touch. You can easily do the same technique if you're making something for a different army with styrene.
So kind of like a dry dock look.
Yeah, exactly. And so one of my favorite things, and I have an insider on this. Striker 911, I actually am very OSHA approved. In fact, I've taken more OSHA classes than I should have in this
Probably more than
lifetime.
anyone in this
It's
office.
probably more, yeah, it's me and Mark have the most OSHA training out of anyone here. So, I'm wearing goggles. It's fine.
Some kind of eye
Hungerford is,
protection.
I wasn't.
he's fine. All right, so anyway, when I
It
do...
all worked out.
Yeah.
When I do wood techniques, I actually made this tool out of a nail. I just dull out the end here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just kind of draw in, this is basswood here, and I'm going to draw in some exaggerated wood grain, right? And that's just something that'll help me, when I'm in painting. It's like I like to texture things so that I want my sculpt to do the work for me, right? Like I want to have a lot of texture in there so that all of my paint kind of pulls that out and I don't have to fake anything in paint.
While you're doing that, Patrick Wilson on Facebook has a suggestion for you. He says, it would be super cool if you would advertise what the kits are a week in advance so that we can build along with you.
Ooh.
And I think that's a great idea.
I think that is a great idea, except that means I have to like plan super far ahead and be like good at this job,
Yes.
which I'm going to do my best.
It does make that much better. Yes.
Right. Now another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drop pins in the top of this. Nice thing is this basswood's so soft that it's super, super easy to pin into. I'm going to take our super glue, spin that. How are we doing on time?
You still have 35 minutes.
Yo, so cool.
Just about halfway.
So you should have your build done in about 10, and then we'll have it fully painted by 11.
That's so true, man.
You promised you could do that, so let's see it.
I don't think I said anything about painting.
We said it for you.
Go faster.
Marketing.
Mark. Well done. If marketing says it, it's totally true.
We promised it. It's happening.
All right, so now I'm going to do the same thing here where I'm going to line this up on the grid. I am going to... Oh, another thing I did that I should mention, I wanted this brass rod to like go through this thing. Right?
Yeah.
You can see it here. So I pre-drilled holes. You guys can see that.
Measured them
I
out.
measured them out, pre-drilled it.
How did you make sure that they were at the same height? Did you drill them together?
Well, there's a really cool thing called a ruler,
Well, sure.
and I used it.
I need you to reference the part where I'm lazy.
Man, if the stream had just cut off, like right, if you were like, it's called a ruler, boom, and then it just comes up #show canceled.
The best part is Tony's the one that makes the call. He's like, if you insult me one more time on live stream, you're done. And yeah, that's it, man. It's just 1/2 inch and drill the hole. So anyway, I'm going to line this up on the grid. And I'll do the same thing where I kind of just wiggle the bit here. And I should have a little indent. Yep. I'll drill it. And I'm not worried. I'll probably drill right through it, honestly. Oop, ouch. Poked myself. You can see that lines up all nice.
Even clicked like a Lego piece.
Yeah, it was like this
Very
is
satisfying.
Yeah, it was like this is where I belong.
Striker911 asks, can the next Twitch subscriber emoji we create be a canceled with a big red circle?
That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. Is there some sort of pun like danceled or something I can use?
No.
Okay. Just wanted to workshop that. Didn't work out.
For those of you that don't know, Danny puns his name into everything possible at all
because I
times.
have to feed into my endless narcissism and self-obsession. My therapist and I are working on that.
Gecko in a suit says canceled. That's called being shot.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a black penny to the nugget.
Yeah.
Penny to the nug. Penny to the nug. Right. All right. So I'm also, the nice thing about working with a cutting board with a grid on it. Our cutting board is actually like absolutely fantastic. You can use it to square up your stuff, right? So I'll line this up on the grid. Prepare to be pun-ished. Forged of souls. Well done. Let's be friends.
Don't encourage each other.
You just get a little bit more glue in there.
No, this is the other one.
Oh, okay. I want to hear that nice snap.
Oh man, that's so good.
It's very satisfying.
It really is.
I hope the mic picked that up.
It does, yeah, we can hear it.
What are your favorite sounds? By the way, everybody has their
Is that like ASMR TV?
Let's see. Gumbo boiling. The laser pew pew sound of baby gators. If you've ever heard them, the noise they make.
Yes.
Yes.
Wait. Go back. What?
Yeah.
La-
so
baby gators sound like laser guns.
They're like,
It's so true.
No, I mean you have to hear. It's actually truly inhuman. Like they sound like something out of sci-fi.
it's fantastic.
I know what I'm doing this afternoon.
I know what I'm
Going on
doing right
YouTube.
Yeah, I'm gonna find
being
baby
sick and
gator
crying to
videos.
yourself
Are you
as
kidding
you
me?
listen to.
And probably anything that Randy Savage has ever said.
Yeah, brother.
Just ever. Those are my favorite sounds. So if Randy Savage was holding a baby gator and making gumbo.
Oh my God. I would die.
Valandar the Red, my favorite sound is the sound of a Karen getting kicked out of a Panera Bread. I don't know what that means or what it's in reference to, but I'm on board. I can visualize it, and I like it.
Danny, what are you cutting little pieces for?
Oh, so this is going to be this middle stanchion thing here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Danny was talking. This is the baby gator.
Best thing ever.
I mean,
And this is PVC, foamed PVC board. I use it a lot. It's just very easy to cut, but it's thick. You could just use styrene, but I'm using what I kind of have around.
Well, that's like a whole
That's
group of
so
them.
satisfying. You know what I like?
this is what a group of baby gators sounds like.
They're
It
attacking
sounds
the
like
Death
a G.I.
Star.
Joe versus Cobra fight. It's great.
Oh yeah, also at this point, I'm gonna slide this thingy through here.
Support beam.
And that's a different gauge of brass rod than you were using for your
Sure
pins,
is.
right?
It's actually the brass rod from our larger pinning kit.
Now, are you leaving that brass rod in there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So let's see.
The finished product is still
Gonna act
right
as a support.
next to him. Hungerford.
I'm walking it through for people watching at home. They can't see that, John. It's called radio. You gotta learn how to do it, man.
Wait,
Theater of the mind.
This is
Theater of the
video.
mind.
Yeah,
I see the
Theater of the
camera and
mind.
radio brain goes off.
see where my hand is. How it's not on camera. They can't see that thing.
I have a face for radio.
We've all got faces for radio.
It's my best
Except for
feature.
Danny and Tony.
Yeah, I know they're all like aesthetically pleasing and stuff. It's not fair.
You're beautiful. You're all beautiful in your own way. Okay, so I shoved a little bit of glue on there. It's going to absorb into the wood. It's going to hold it in place, so I didn't really need to pre-glue. In fact, don't pre-glue because it'll get stuck as you're trying to like push it through. So I'm going to cut this, and this is thick gauge, so definitely like hold this in your hand so it doesn't
Don't send it flying
shoot
into your
right?
coworkers.
Yeah,
The last thing I need is a brass rod in the eye.
Yeah, you were pointing that one at John. So I've had the rope drill pointed at me. You've had metal rods pointed at you. One
Everything's
of us
more
is gonna
fun
die.
with a slight chance of death, right?
Hashtag OSHA? Question mark?
So Quasitor said he had to step away when you made the rope, and can you give him a quick verbal on how you connected the wire to the drill?
Yeah.
He just twisted
So-
it in the chuck.
You know how you like tighten a drill to tighten a drill bit in there, or to lock a drill bit in there. In fact, let's just do that because I'll need that. So you can.
And it was just a balled up end of the.
There's just a balled
the
up end
three
of wire.
wires.
Sorry, I'm so used to tightening this one way. I hold the chuck in one hand and hold the drill bit. Then I just tighten the drill bit, or tighten the drill. Oh my God, can't do it on camera anymore. There we go. You know, and then it's all tight and stuff in there.
Yeah.
All right, and at that point, actually, let's drill out this guy.
Inquisitor, asking questions does not derail the stream.
What?
Absolutely not.
No, not at all.
It's kind of the whole
That's
point.
why we're here.
So why are you using a drill for this instead of a pin vise?
Because I'm impatient.
Tony can get that behind that one. And as Stryker says, besides, Danny will derail the stream himself.
So true.
I mean, you see how
He ain't wrong.
if you've been watching from the beginning,
We are masters of impeding our own progress.
So I'm gonna just shove. Where are my pliers? There they are. Shove a pin in there. I just want it to look like it's got some weird hangy wreckage stuff going on, right? I'll clip that.
ooh, maybe they could use the rope technique with all the extra rope, glue a bunch of that under the bottom, then you paint it to make it look like wires and
and-
cables.
Yo, that's a great idea. Let's do that.
All right.
Squibbly-bam. And plus, because it's all bendy and stuff, you can make it look like it's snaking all over the
So we're
place and
gonna take
whatnot.
exactly. we're
Hold
gonna
on,
take a little
hold
bit
on,
of
hold on. Could you take lengths of wire that you made and then twist those together like they're
Yeah.
larger gauge cables?
Yeah, you wanna do
big
it?
runs of cables?
Yeah.
You want to do it?
No, I want to see you do the rest of this. I just wanted to know
Yeah,
that.
but that's
I just
a-
wanted
that's
to
just
know
an
that that
idea
was
for
a
the-
cool idea.
the viewers
I
at
needed you to
home.
validate me for a second.
Also, what I'm doing is this is gonna go under my nail. It's gonna hurt. All right, I'm kind of unwinding a little bit of it,
So it looks frayed and
so it looks
sparky.
frayed. Exactly.
Yeah, because you made all this rope stuff over here, and I was like, how else can we use that, right? And that's pretty cool. DGC has a question for you, Tony. DGC says, did you get my drawing?
Drawing?
Yeah, DGC wants to know if you got his drawing.
Isn't that the fan art he did?
Oh,
of
yes.
you?
I did get his drawing. Yes, I did.
I still win. He brought me Timbits.
Is that the
Is
fan
that the
art?
guy that brings you Timbits?
Yes.
I want Timbits.
That was the fan art of you.
That was the fan art of me? That was DGC that did that?
I think so, yeah.
I don't know
So
how. Thank you.
Well, and
It was tasteful fan
and then-
art, so thank you.
at Gen Con, Striker 911 brought all the donuts that we got.
Yeah, well, he's just a good dude.
Yeah. Well, they both are.
They weren't poisoned, so.
No,
I like
I ate
that.
them and I still live. So if they were poison, it was a feeble attempt. Try harder.
I mean, every time that we do get food from somebody we don't know personally, which happens at cons,
We
and
immediately put it in our face.
we immediately just eat it. And I'm not gonna lie, I always kind of like, was this the day?
That's how I was with the Monster Apocalypse cupcakes.
So you guys can see, like, we got some little frayed wires going on now. There.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so cool. All right. Now I want to add little corner schmidgens.
Schmidgens.
That's a technical term I am not familiar with.
Hashtag
What is a
schmidgen.
schmidgen?
We're going to measure
They're corner schmidgens, Tony. It's all in the name.
3/8 of an inch.
These are very specific schmidgens.
3/8 of an inch.
Will you show on camera on the finished product which thing is the schmidgen?
Yeah.
Hold on, you keep cutting. I'm gonna show this because we haven't looked at this.
Oh, whoa, Tony, look at you go.
I can't see the corner schmidgens on
Yeah,
there.
you can.
Oh, can they?
They're right in the middle under the jack.
Oh, I see. The holding up the middle of the jack there.
They're- okay.
Got it. That little
All right.
triangular piece there.
And then this is for you, Tony. This is how to be lazy.
I
So
love laziness.
line this
DGC,
up.
that be resin.
Line this up in the corner, right? And you can literally just trace the new piece.
I mean, if you can make a system where I didn't have to measure it all in the first place, that would be even better. But
I mean, you could just guess
this is cool too.
and make it look bad.
You could just do an awful job, Tony.
We're going to take our leather punch, add some shrivets. Boop. Make
No, this-
sure-
And you're just indenting. You're not going all the way through.
yeah, don't
right?
go all the way through.
I feel I have to say this every time, but the leather punch seems like one of those
a cheat
investment
code, man.
tools that just if you are building a lot of terrain is this is just a you can't live without it tool.
Kind of.
It's just
Oh,
an
there-
easy
there
way to
you
make
go.
rivets on
It's a little out of focus, but you can see
on
it.
cardstock, right?
Yeah, on styrene?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
And building metal plates is like one of the first things you do when you kit bash or you're doing any kind of conversion is how do I make big metal plates that I'm going to slap on top of something else, right? And you need rivets for that.
How do I add more rivets to
Yeah.
this model? Needs more rivets. Can you imagine how much like the Riveters Union must make?
I didn't know there was a
In
riveters.
the Iron Kingdoms?
Yeah.
They don't allow them to unionize. No.
So I'm going to pick it up with my scalpel. Whoopsies. And glue it completely off center, apparently. That's great. We'll fix it later.
Mistakes happen,
We'll
right?
fix it in
In
production.
in the words of Tony, we'll fix it in post. It's fine.
I never say that.
That's because you
You-
just make
you
us.
have said that
That's
a
because you
That
just
just
make
means
us reshoot
because
until it's right.
Because saying the words "we'll fix it in post" just says Tony has to do more work.
You nailed it
Right.
there, Danny. Like we'll just shoot it again. Like I have every time that Tony says the words one more time. Something in
Tony,
the back
two
of my
times
head
Konachek.
just twitches.
Never. Yeah, Tony never once Konachek. One is never good enough.
No.
Who gave you
That was
name?
great. Let's do it again.
Is that Burrell?
I've been given that name by a lot of people.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys can see that's
one of those-
a shoddy job, but whatever.
It's one of those
Show 'em
conclusions
from the,
everybody
show 'em
comes
from the
to.
bottom, like upside down, so they can see the
Yeah.
They get the shot of the spacing that what you just did.
Right.
Valenjar the Red wants to know, how would you make diamond plate? Is it something you can make, or would you just buy plastic diamond plate?
Tony, what am I allowed to say?
That sounds like a
I
great question.
I don't
for
know
another
what your
episode.
possible answers could be, so I'm not
you
sure.
can. There's a specific company that you can buy styrene diamond plate for.
Okay, so that's the way to do it, is to just buy pre-existing
Buy diamond plate.
Diamond plate.
It comes in a lot of different scales for model trains.
We don't sell styrene, so
Great. So buy it. Can I say a brand name or what?
Don't do it.
Legal stuff.
Search it on Google. You'll find it.
There are two companies.
use one of them.
We'll use one of them. Exactly. Set me free.
Oh, you're doing the little middle, the middle
Yeah.
leg.
So I'm just kind of gluing that in. And Tony, look, I didn't even measure.
Excellent.
That's one of the nice things about working on a grid, right? Is you can kind of get away with not
You can
measuring.
measure without measuring.
Yeah, except for the fact that I'm completely off and this is floating in the air now.
That's okay.
Baller.
You could shorten the
Whoopsies.
legs, right?
What's that?
Can you shorten the
That's
legs?
exactly what I'm going to do.
Okay.
So
if you just use your
this is a good thing to watch. Like if you make this mistake where the middle leg is too short, just do what Danny's doing right now and just literally shave down the other two.
or as Valandar said, sweep the legs.
Yeah.
and then just use your emery board or file to level it off.
That's from that old movie, right? About like kung fu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ghostface Killer was the name of it.
Yep.
Do that on the camera, Danny. Push it up. There you go.
I believe it was from Kung Fu Hustle.
Man, I love 70s kung fu movies.
Right?
All right, so there we go. All right, let's make this guy hang now.
Using some of that rope.
Yep. So you see how this like has already a little hangy rope in like a little like round little eyelet thing? I'm actually going to use that to my advantage and say that that's where my rope is going to
Connect.
plug on in. Yeah.
And if you're using a warjack that doesn't have that little hangy rope, you can use some of your leftover rope that you made with wire and a drill
Or
to put it on there
Or
yourself.
just get like a little eyelet screw from the craft store and like put like a hook on there or something.
That sounds like more steps.
Yeah, it depends on how much work you want to do, right?
Yeah. If you're going to be lazy, it's fine. It's cool.
You can do subpar
And
craftsmanship.
I realize that my drill bit is not quite the right size for this rope, but I'm too lazy to change it. And so I'm just kind of like wiggling it in there and doing a little bit of this, you know, moving it, wiggling it. Make the hole bigger.
I mean, converting and kit bashing is all about just sort of, having an idea and improvising as you go, right?
And
right.
being open to improvising, because sometimes you have an idea and you go to do it and you're like, no, this isn't gonna work.
Yeah,
So
you
need
just
to be-
you got to change it on the fly.
and you got to be open to like that sudden inspiration of like, this would be even doper.
I found this awesome Facebook group called Trash Bash Bits, and it's just people that take trash and turn them into like spaceships and stuff. And it is a black hole, man. I can spend so long in there. I'm like, how'd you make that out of a Gatorade bottle? Wow!
I mean, yeah. Improvisation. Improvisation? I improvised that word.
Improvisation?
No, improvisation.
You just mean
Improve it.
improv, right?
No.
Yeah. I mean-
Improvise.
It's like Yang T in Five Deadly Venoms, right? If he didn't
Is-
improvise, he'd
is-
have died.
Is that the guy who's...
Five Deadly Venoms.
I'm also going to drill a hole here.
Is that the one with the Shogun of Harlem?
No.
No, that's Last
Is that from
Dragon.
Karate
I know.
Kid 2?
No. It's an old
was
Shaw
making
Brothers
the
movie from
incorrect
the late
reference thing
70s.
again.
It's one of the top 10 kung fu movies ever made.
You're old.
Yeah, I'm 38. I also know things because TV exists.
Teaches you everything.
I've watched movies from before when I was born. You ever watch Ghostbusters?
Dude, I grew up on that movie.
But that was before you were born, right?
You don't know when I was born.
You're 25.
2016?
No, I'm 28.
Oh.
But mentally.
12.
12.
Well, all
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, anyone in this industry is basically mentally 12.
Wow, hot take.
Yeah.
Everyone get offended.
Yeah,
Go.
no matter
Attack
the gender,
John
we're all
Swingles.
just man-children.
His email is john@privateerpress.com. Send your hate mail there.
I'm pretty sure everyone at this point knows that we are not very clever when it comes to our email naming conventions.
I think mine is still Michael Archer.
Well, it'll show up that way, but it's Danny at.
All right, so now we're going to take this wire.
The only people that don't get those simple ones are anyone whose first name is Will, because we had too many of them.
That's true. Truth.
So now what are you doing with the wire? Just straightening
Just
it out?
straightening it out. Yeah, and I'm going to take my pliers.
So you can get kind of an accurate cut.
And nope, I'm going to crimp it at a right angle. So you can
So you
use
can-
your pliers at the end to bend the wire. See that?
Look at that.
And then we're going to see if this fits on in there.
A couple questions as you're doing that. DGC says, we're going to see a Primecast coming soon. Nothing to announce just yet, DGC. We will let you know. Pat Velota Jr. says, what was the Kung Fu movie that had the bad guy that was invincible except for where he got hit in the bottom of the foot? That was Invincible Armor
I thought you
by
were
the
talking
Shaw
about
Brothers
Achilles.
from 1977.
It is somewhat of an Achilles reference, yes, but
But he was actually able to move his weak spot throughout his body.
Whoa, dude. That's
because
cool. Kung Fu
dopeness.
movies. Have you guys watched Ip Man? Because that movie was
Yes.
sweet.
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. Mike Tyson was in the third one, right?
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
great. I want more Mike Tyson in my life forever.
Oh, no!
God!
OSHA.
Dropping stuff. So I glued that in. Now I'm just going to kind of clip it. I'll clip it long, but I just want to have a little bit of stuff to work with here.
Right, because if you go too long, once you fit it on there, you can just clip more.
Exactly.
Yup.
That's exactly right.
Is clipping short, you would basically have to yank it back out, right?
Yeah, I'd have to rip it out
and then make more rope.
Exactly.
And as we've seen, making rope is cheap and easy, so you have lots of leftovers to use.
Especially if you have a beautiful assistant like William Hungerford.
That's me. Ryan Montgomery wants to know, how did the move go? And we'll ask Danny,
We'll let you know
how was your
when we're
move? He wants to know, how was the move, and are you happy with your new lunch options?
Yes?
Cool.
All right. Nailed it.
I have a sweet mezzanine.
You do have a sweet
He does. We do have a Danny,
That's really cool.
Danny loft.
They put me away from everyone, but I can look
But
down.
you get to lord over us.
Yeah, and I can maybe get Nerf guns
I have many.
and shoot them down from the mezzanine and then
Rain
get
Nerf
fired.
upon us.
Fired.
Nomadic Chris, to answer your question as he's connecting these ropes, what he did is he took florist wire, strung it out into basically 3 pieces, made a ball at the end of one to make sort of like a little bundle, stuck it into a power drill, had me hold the far end with a pair of pliers, and then started up the drill, which spun it into rope. It was
Yeah.
actually surprisingly simple and incredibly dangerous.
Especially if it were to have snapped
just-
and
just for me.
fired off into Hungerford's eye.
It won't.
It's
Probably.
Probably not dangerous, but I don't know.
Also, just so you guys know, there is I have. Wow, that was a short circuit, man.
Well, and that was a deep cut reference from Forge of Souls. Do you also get your daily bucket of fish heads in the attic?
What?
In your mezzanine attic
I
thing,
hope
do you get
so.
your
God,
daily
I hope
bucket of
so.
fish heads? Yeah.
God, I hope so. So that was a prank I saw someone do once. Side note, getting distracted again. But there's always that bottom drawer in your toolbox that nobody ever checks, and so one of my friends wanted to get back
12-pound
at this guy
flounder.
that was being mean, and so he put a fish in it, and that thing just stank because he didn't find it for like a month.
Nothing better than mystery
Move your
fish.
head and push it up, Danny. There you go.
There, so I'm trying to figure out how short I want to make this. We're probably gonna cut it like right about there, I think. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, that's right. I made an accompanying insider. So there's an insider that I wrote up. For those of you that missed the live stream, you can either view the live stream later,
On YouTube.com/Privateer
Yes.
Press Prime.
or I have an insider as well to accompany it.
Which you can pop up in another screen next to it.
Also, again, these bits are all available
As
on
a
our
single
web-
kit?
Yeah, on our
Yep.
web store for
We'll have-
$20.
We'll have that available. Links on. Are we going to put the links in the description for YouTube as well?
Yes, we are.
So we'll have links in the description for YouTube, and then we'll pop links again in chat here in a second.
So I'm using the pliers to help push this wire in.
Your copy paste was still exactly what you were looking for, Tony. That's amazing.
Boom. I love when that happens. It's the little
Nailed
things.
it.
All right, and then I'll also use the pliers to kind of you can just crimp the wire with the pliers, and it'll actually straighten out the wire as well. Sorry, this part's the difficult part, the precise work, I guess.
The one that's hard to keep on camera at the same time.
Yeah, it's sorry, guys. And then you guys can see the nice thing about steel wire is it's durable. It'll hang. You can kind of pose it out, but it looks like rope, right? And try to make sure that you don't have any bend in the wire because it kind of kills the illusion of the weight. So I want it to be as straight as possible. You guys can see, this isn't even glued on the top.
It's just hanging out.
It's just hanging there.
Literally.
So I'm going to shove a bit of glue on there, kind of let it wick in to the hole.
Quick.
Hold it upside down, and then I'll take a little bit of paper towel and wipe it off. This is not the most precise way of doing this, but it's going to work for me.
And plus, you're going to paint over it.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody's going to see the underside, so it doesn't really matter.
True. feel like we're getting pretty close here.
We are, indeed.
I will investigate with customer service as to why the previous Hobby Hangout kit isn't showing up in the store.
Yeah, we had a
I
que-
don't believe it was a temporary thing, but
No,
I'll
it
have to
should
look.
be.
They
still
should
on
be there forever. Yeah. So we had a question if apparently you can't find the Hobby Hangout from Danny's last project, the parts for that in our online store, and they should be.
They should be. We'll look into
perpetual.
it for you.
Yep. I'll investigate with them.
The plan is to have them always available.
Yar.
So
Because the videos will be available on the YouTubes, so you might as well always be able to go find the thing.
I cut this piece of styrene as a base, right, for the whole thing.
Yeah.
And
Gonna
so
give it some rivets.
I'm just adding some rivets to it.
Rivet.
Forge of Soul says the downside to having a 2-rope setup for this is it looks like it would rotate. Well, there's multiple things you could do. When you do your own build, you could add more ropes, absolutely. Alternatively, it's alchemically treated ropes, which are known not to rotate.
Yeah, I've thought about doing that, like adding a hook to the top and like throwing a third rope on there, like kind of like tying it through, almost like a U. But oh well, deadlines.
But this is, I mean, even if people do your build and follow these instructions, they can. Still a lot of room for customization.
So much room.
I mean, you can throw chains on it
You
too.
could throw
right?
way more ropes on there if you wanted to. You could have a tiny little goblin trying to hold him up from underneath. You could have like a little stand connected to the ground that holds him in place.
Also, what I'm doing right now is I'm taking the knife and I'm nicking up the edge of the metal. It's just going to add a little bit of kind of like beaten texture that I can pull out with paint. I'll even take the knife, add a line, and then cut towards that line. Sorry, Tony,
Cut-
I
yeah,
can't.
cut
I
it.
can't do it in camera.
Okay.
It's not safe. It's not safe to. You have to have it off the edge of the table, so you can hold it down. Like, it's
Yeah.
hard to explain. It's a safety thing. how
But
to
basically,
cut.
you're making nicks and grooves in the metal
Exactly,
plate, so it
exactly.
looks
You
like
can-
stuff has been drug across it and all that. Other
Yeah,
kind
and
of
you can
stuff.
do this with a what's it called? Like a diamond file, like a triangular file. You can just take that and rub it there.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
that would be
grind
the
it
same
up.
thing. Exactly. So now we're gonna place this, and I got these little these from the Steelhead Artillery.
Oh, okay,
piece.
yeah.
I thought they might make nice little like footers.
Indeed.
So I'm just gonna kind of place that there.
SB Wargaming says, "Are you thinking of doing a Rulik version of this?
To it.
You could even have a full-on gunner or blaster just hanging there in midair with its tiny little legs gone."
Well, and our metal bits are available on the online store, so like you should be able to find like a jack body, old metal jack body that you can just buy separately, kind of, throw out there.
Oh, Tony found the link to the.
I got a call out to Evil Twin Studios who found it while we were live streaming. They pulled it up, so it is still on the Kador Heavy Cannon kit is still on the online store.
What
And I
else?
should point out these are obviously not full kits. They are just the resin parts that Danny used to do the kit. You will still need to supply your own kit bashing materials.
Oh crud, we're almost out of time. I gotta
okay.
hustle.
You do you, boo.
Don't tell me how to live my life. Feisty.
So feisty. This is the sassiest stream I've ever been on. And given the people I've streamed with,
I was like, have you been on a
No,
stream
I
with
was like-
Lyle?
I was like,
there's a lot of sassiness I've experienced over the last 8 years.
Lyle, if you're watching this, we miss you.
I hung out with him a couple days ago.
Yeah,
I saw the pictures.
I tried. He texted me.
and I was
couldn't.
like, I am distressed because
Yeah.
I've been bad at Facebooking. I didn't even know he was going to be here.
I couldn't make it out to him.
Yep. We spent all Monday together.
Oh, that's so cute.
Walked around the market, ate, played a bunch of games,
Nice.
went and had nachos and ice cream for dinner.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's like the best dinner.
Where at?
We went to Mox for dinner, but we were in downtown all day.
Sure. All right, so now I'm gonna throw some glue on here. So I'm like rushing through this now.
And yes, to Dork Jedi, the squeezy bottle with the long nozzle is
It's accelerant.
It's accelerant.
Yeah. That's just because Danny has to get this done, within an hour. He's got 5 minutes left, and
he fears no cancer.
I mean, I try to be as careful as I can, but
yeah.
the
So-
nice thing is we're working at such a small scale that like it's I'm not exposed to a lot of really bad stuff often, and it's not at large quantities.
So aside from the little sort of front feet, and Tony, could you pull up the final piece? So if you see those two little front feet that have the metallic end that kind of stick out of the front, that's all, and then there's the wood bar in between them, and that's on the ground level.
That's just about all that's.
Well,
Yeah,
and then
Danny has built everything but that.
There's a few. There are a few little details that I made with like thin styrene here, right?
Kind of like the wooden planks
that I
on
just
the front.
I just took my leather punch and I punched rivets and cut little strips. You guys can see that here to kind of lock things to
Yeah.
look like it's kind of bolted together.
Reinforced, if you will.
I'll probably really quickly before the stream is up. I've got 4 minutes. Make those the front feet things.
Yeah.
So this is again that PVC board, right?
How thick is that PVC board? Like what's
1/8 of an inch.
1/8.
And that's the nice thing about it is it's 1/8, and you just saw how easily it cuts. I mean, it's super light. I love this stuff. The nice thing is if you go to your local like plastics store, like I get it from Tap. They have offcut bins because those kind of stores are meant for big signage, right? And so you can kind of like
buy-
get. I mean, they
buy
give me
their
this stuff for
leave-ins.
free. Yeah. Because scraps work for me. I also forgot something. You want to shave off the anything on the front there. There's like this little kind of hanging hook, and I'm just going to use my knife and shave that off. I should have done that before, but
Hindsight is 20/20.
exactly. On the last one, I did that. I planned ahead, but no such luck here. All right. Just for the sake of time, I'm probably going to use my clippers.
Don't hurt yourself, Danny.
Tell me what to do.
And what's
Well,
great?
All right,
is
fine,
even-
Danny. You do whatever you want.
And what's great is even if they're not a perfect edge, that's kind of okay because of the aesthetic. If you're looking for something a little beat up / heavily used.
Well, that's the thing. I'll go in and I'll use the emery board and kind of sand an angle. That's how I got that angle on it.
Yeah.
Because this stuff sands super nicely, and because I used my clippers, it actually created a slight angle for me anyway. It kind of crunches the material a little bit. So we're just going to drop a dot of glue here. Drop a dot of glue here.
SB Wargaming says we still need a modeling masterclass with Danny Book. What is a book?
They want me to write. I can't even write.
Kaylin
That's what they called PDFs before computers.
Oh, right.
Kaylin asked if you're kit bashing. Yeah, today's show has all been about kit bashing a Steamjack Workstation, which we're actually selling the parts for on the online store. And Danny has been going through all the steps. The coolest part of which has been how to make your own metal rope,
Yes.
which was very fun to watch and very, very easy. You just need a power drill and a friend willing to hold pliers.
I mean, you can even, in a pinch, do it with your pin vise.
Yeah, but
hold them both yourself, away from your face.
Oh, I mean, I do it.
Yeah.
I wanted Hungerford on camera, and I wanted to make him nervous. I normally do it by myself.
you always make me nervous, Danny. Name one time you haven't.
Sean Dooley,
can't.
hello, says, dude, he's barely literate. Don't stretch him too far.
Dude, Sean has known me since I was like 12. I love that man. A shout out to Sean, by the way. Sean has lost 180 pounds this year. He has a awesome group for gamers on Facebook called Sweatforged, where it's everybody kind of joining in and encouraging each other to get
pretty awesome.
healthy. So definitely check that out. Shout out to Sean. He's going to be raffling off prizes and stuff for people.
that sounds not unlike Swole Machine.
You have a thing called Swole Machine?
Yeah, so about
Go.
3 years
Perfect.
ago,
Please promote that as well. This is fantastic. I had no idea. Sorry, Hungerford.
about 3 years ago when I lost 100 pounds, I started a group for gamers where they got together and encouraged each other, and I raffled away prizes. It was called Swole Machine. Danny.
Well,
But the thing we did is not it's
There we go.
a seasonal challenge that happens.
awkward.
And there's prizes, Hungerford.
And that's how I got canceled.
No, I think what Sean is doing is amazing. I think anything anybody in the community does to promote health of all types is great.
Oh,
yeah, that's
Tony.
one of those kind of things where competition actually only makes it better anyway. So the more people doing it, the better.
Yeah. There should be a Sweatforge, Swole Machine for every game system. All of them. 'Cause the more
Every
people-
single one.
The more people that can, and
I mean, no, but the Sweatforge is not for like they're auctioning off everything.
Oh,
like it's
yeah.
not. No, it's not a particular. It's just a cool name. It has nothing to do with a particular company affiliate.
well, I'm just saying, like, it's cool that more of this kind of stuff we see. Because
Yes. All right. I was like, it's just a
It's-
bunch of gamers getting together and getting healthy.
we gamers are typically have the unfortunate stereotype of not being the most healthy people, and I think the more we can do to get rid of that, and the more that we can help promote people be healthy, is a good thing.
So I think I pretty much finished it. I even added that wood bar, which Tony, for you, I did not measure. I literally just held the bar over the thingy,
That's a form of
and I
measuring.
marked it,
That's a form of measuring.
and then I cut it.
That is literally measuring.
That
Did not
sounds
use a ruler.
that sounds like my.
You
my
did not
kinda
use a
best practice.
Sounds like your
specific
speed.
measuring tool,
Yeah.
but you literally measured it against the target.
John, don't ruin this for me.
I ruin everything for you, Tony.
There we are.
It's my primary motivation.
That's that.
Sweet.
I promise not to smash this one this time on camera.
Wow! Did you just pick it up and smash it on the ground?
That's what I did last time. I hit it with like a
Just
hammer.
be
or
all
something.
the who and just blah.
I did. I was just like, okay, there it is, boom, and then that was the end of the live stream. But we're gonna just make this ending more awkward and drawn out.
Oh, no,
Tony,
there's, like,
what-
there's a bunch
Oh
of-
yeah, right. Wrap up. Thanks for highlighting that, Tony.
Thanks for peeling back the curtain, Danny.
Stream schedule.
Boom.
Again.
I like that you're just reading off what it says with no context. Stream schedule, mini crate. Legend of the Five Rings, mini crate.
Wednesdays.
Savage mini crate.
Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Dev Hangout. Thursdays at 10 a.m. Get your paint on. October 1st, we have a staff showdown where we will be playing Riot Quest.
Also at
September
10 a.m.
27th.
That's today.
I can't even read, man.
Awesome.
Thanks for subscribing. Post photos to hashtag P3Painters on Instagram. Tony, we also have a hashtag for this, right?
For which one?
The Kit
For the,
Bashers.
for the hobby hangout?
P3, hashtag P3 Kit Bashers.
Kit Bashers. Yes, sorry. I was still on the subscribers. There it is.
Oh, yeah,
Very-
hashtag P3 Kit Bashers.
very
I'll be
dark
looking
on
at
the
your stuff
screen.
and maybe sharing it on the
Boom.
privateer_press_terrain Instagram. Be sure to check that out as well. Thanks for joining us. See you next time, hopefully, if they don't can this live stream.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Hooray! Lunchtime.
Hashtag canceled forever.
I'm still talking a little bit.